everyone. Welcome to today's Limecraft webinar. Thank you for joining us. My name is Maarten Verwaast. I'm responsible for business development at Limecraft, and next to me today is Jonna, Customer Success Manager at Limecraft.
Hi everyone, great to see so many of you joining today. So at first, a little bit of housekeeping. This session will run about 40 minutes. Please post all your questions through the chat button or the Q&A. And towards the end of the session, we will make sure that we have time to reply all of the questions.
Yeah, so in today's webinar, we will speak about the latest developments rolled out as part of the 2025.7 release. And we'll give you a recap of the most important highlights of the 6th release earlier in September. Before doing so, we'll give you a real quick introduction on Limecraft, and at the end of this session, we will also walk you through the roadmap for 2026 and some of the upcoming events. Real quick introduction on Limecraft, because the majority in the audience are key users of Limecraft, so we can skip. As a resume, in 25, we've done a lot of work on the Delivery Workspace, which is actually bringing the supply chain to life, and a localization accessibility. In fact, at IBC, we rolled out the first prototype of AI dubbing. For 26, we will extend some of these capabilities, introducing image recognition next to automatic speech recognition, creating true multimodal indexing, enabling advanced searches. We will double down on production automation, and step by step, we will further improve the accessibility of the Limecraft application as such. So without further ado, let's dive in the review of the 2025.6 release. We'll have a look at the most important improvements that came to life at that point, starting with some audit capabilities, and specifically the workspace settings. Jonna, could you take over the screen and give us a little demo?
Yeah, so this is a new feature that we rolled out last release. So now it's possible to go to your workspace settings to have a look at the settings history. And this is very useful to know if some things have been changed in the settings and who made those changes. So where you can find these settings are in the workspace settings, workspace admin, and then the history.
I think this is particularly useful for larger teams where there are multiple administrators working on the same settings. So in the settings history, as Jonna mentioned, you have all the breadcrumbs. You see in great detail who changed what. So if anything goes wrong, or settings that have been made undone, here's where you can check the full history of the configuration in a workspace and in an account. Jonna, next up is speaker change indications.
Yeah.
So that's worth another demo.
Now, since last release, there's even more options. And here's where you can manage those settings. I'll quickly go to the workspace settings, the subtitle editor settings, and these are managed through the subtitle preset settings. And in more detail, you need to scroll down to the automatic subtitler spotting rules segment here, and the speaker identification settings can be found here. That's how it works.
Okay, thank you very much. So for avoidance of doubt, speaker changes are particularly important for the deaf and hard of hearing. It signals them there's another speaker coming into play. It's usually not part of the transcription, and without Limecraft, you would need to add these every event where there is a switch between speakers. using Limecraft, this part of the post-editing process is automated, saving you as a subtitle professional a lot of post-editing time. One other important update on last release for convenience improvement was the usage notifications. There is another subject today on notifications events that happen, but in September we already rolled out use notifications on usage limits. This is important for account managers and production administrators. If you have, say, 100 hours of managed media available in your production, prior to this, there would be no overage allowed, and you could hit a limit. So we enabled you to oversubscribe and use overage managed media in order to avoid surprises by the end of the month. We're sending out a notification as soon as you touch the soft maximum. Jomar, could you briefly explain how this is, how you can access these limits and make sure you're notified?
Yeah, sure. So when the maximum included limit has been reached, the account owner already receives an automatic email notification mentioning that now you're entering the paid area, so there will be overage charge. But in order to be warned about this a bit earlier, you have an option to set your own limit as an account administrator. So let's take the example of managed media. Here we already see that there has been a limit set. You just click next to the component that you want to manage, set limit, and here you can put any limit that you want. For example, 50 hours. And then you would receive a notification when this limit has been reached. For a moment, the limit would be reached, but you could go then to increase it, and you have received a pre-warning before going to the overage.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Is this something which modifying these limits, do people need to reach out to support@limecraft.com, or is it something they can set themselves?
Yeah, that's a good question, Martin. So as an account owner, I believe account admin as well, you can go and set these limits yourself. So no support needs to be involved for these actions.
So this is really a next step in the rolling out of a self-service mechanism, granting permissions to account owners that can then organize themselves in the different workspaces. Good. Well, we're going to talk about the Limecraft panel, which got a serious upgrade in the 25.6 release and another upgrade in the 7 release. As some of you may know, the Limecraft panel was originally developed to allow Adobe Premiere editors accessing AI services and automated subtitling from within Adobe. So you would log in the panel. As soon as you're logged in, what you see is an overview of all the accounts you have access to. If you dive in such an account, for example, Limecraft demo accounts over here, you see exactly the same workspaces as you would see when logging into Limecraft. When you go in such a workspace, you see exactly the same items as if you would be logged in Limecraft. What was possible before is I have a sequence or an edit over here. You can still upload the sequence or a file to Limecraft and vice versa. As soon as that's arrived on Limecraft, you can use the panel to create transcripts and subtitles, but that's not the subject of today. In the latest Adobe panel upgrade, you can now upload a sequence as a project file. It may sound simple, it's not. The regular workflow, the normal workflow is that material has been ingested in the first place via Limecraft, and as an Adobe editor, you would then access files, an edit project, do some editing, and the whole idea is that several people are working on the same project, and by uploading the sequence as a project file, you can swiftly transfer your work to the next editor in line. They can continue where you left the project. And the advantage of using this improvement is that before and after every upload, Limecraft will check, identify which files have been modified. And if I'm the editor and I've only changed the in and out points, but kept the files untouched, then there is no need to transfer any more media files. And uploading the sequence as a project file is a fraction of a second. The edit project is available in Limecraft Flow, can be downloaded by the second editor, overall saving teams that are collaboratively working a lot of time. No more retransfers, no more Dropbox, no more complicated file exchanges. It's just a matter of exchanging the references to the files. From there on, it's self-explaining, but there is a whole chapter on the knowledge base about and the different interactions in the panel. Please do check it out. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to support@limecraft.com. Next up, in this release are two, as we mentioned, Limecraft is step-by-step upgrading the accessibility of our own application, improving our compliance with web accessibility standards. And in this 2025.7 release, you'll notice that we've worked on contrast, coloring, and status indicators of the progress bars of the processes. Please do check the release notes on our website for the complete list of improvements. And another visible improvement is that you can now modify the size of the thumbnails and the embedded player. This is really important for edit producers or researchers that have to quickly scan large volumes of content. These thumbnails, you can use them for scrubbing and judging the content of the images by enlarging the thumbnail. That becomes more accessible, more useful. As a last improvement, last 2 bits, the highlight of this 2025.7 release was, without any doubt, a notification engine which is now made available. Prior to this newly rolled out notification dashboard, you could have notifications on ingest or on a transcription process that was finished, but it was hardwired in your account. You needed to have a technical setup, and we now made it available for self-service in the admin console. I think, Jonna, this requires another quick demo on setting up the notifications and how it looks like.
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen. So first of all, we have this new icon here, the bell icon. And here you would see notifications popping up. So that's one place. You can also receive notifications via email. And where these are managed are the user preferences. So here there will be a new tab. And for now it is beta version, so we are rolling this out step by step. And in the first phase, the notifications you have the option to put notifications for ingest, so any file that's been uploaded or your own files, transcription and review comments. So these are basically the three options now. In the first phase, you have the option to select to receive them via email or in-app, as we saw earlier. That's about it. It's pretty clear cut. If you choose to receive all notifications for all file uploads, for instance, you're not going to be instantly overwhelmed with lots of notifications. They will be, you will receive them
bundled.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, so this is a first implementation. We welcome people in the audience to join us in beta testing the notifications and giving us as much feedback as possible in terms of additional types of notifications you would like to see, the granularity of the messaging, anything that pops up your mind. Feel free to share your comments and suggestions. Jona, next on the agenda was the ability to move clips between collections rather than to drag and drop them and assigning them. You mind showing us that one before we move on?
So this feature has to do with moving clips between collections. So until now, of course, it's been possible to drag and drop. I just dragging and dropping to another collection. That is still there with a little bit more functionality, which I'll explain to you in a bit. But what's new is that you now also have a new button available to move a clip directly to another. There are options for the drag and drop, and these are managed in the workspace settings. So let's go in the workspace settings, library, and then to the drag and drop settings. This is where you can manage. So by default, I believe you have assigned to another collection, keep in both collections. So what this means, if you drag and drop, the clip remains in the collection of origin, and it's also assigned to the new collection. And to reverse, well, let's first take the other option. The other option is to simply move the clip, so it is no longer assigned to the collection of origin. It's simply moved to the target collection. And in order to quickly be able to apply the other alternative than what you have configured here, you can hold Control, and then drag and dropping will have the opposite effect. So let's say I have chosen to simply move. I press the Control, drag and drop the clip. It also remains in the original collection and is assigned to the target collection.
So I think what we're saying here is that you can now both assign a clip to another collection or decide to move it from one collection to another. In the settings, you can choose the default behavior, take the other one by using the control button on a Windows machine or the command button on an Apple machine, and vice versa. Please do reach out if you have any questions on this one. Sharing my screen again. So we've talked about notifications. We've talked about moving items between collections. the settings there too, and this leaves us with a moment to address any questions you may have looking in the Q&A. There's a question from someone who's asking, these notifications, are they to be configured by the account admin or by the production administrator, or how does it work?
Yeah, that's a good question. So actually, the notifications are managed by each user themselves. They are included in the user preferences. So for the moment, it is individual user-based configuration.
Yeah, unless there is any other questions, we'll move to the final subject of this webinar, which is an outlook, a sneak preview on the roadmap and some of the upcoming events. So our product team, as we sat down with the product team, and we've come up with a number of different areas where you will see Limecraft improving over the next 12 months. There is overall product improvements regardless of any specific use case. There is production workflows and the automation we have in mind. There is advanced methods or advanced applications of artificial intelligence or media intelligence. We plan to expand the Delivery Workspace product line, and there are a few actions planned in the areas of subtitling and localization. If we look at overall product improvements, the most imminent changes are improving the look and feel of exports in Word and PDF, and more flexible group and team management. And in Q2 next year, so that's April, May, June, we plan to give another push on the mobile app, including the ability to upload material in the app for journalistic purposes and so on. When it comes to production workflow automation, we're mostly looking at further also automating the ingest process, notably improving the audio sync. That's line item number 3 over here. Allow waveform validation, which is an improvement over using just the time codes, and improving the advanced authoring format export to Avid. In media intelligence, we're planning to significantly invest in visual image recognition and coming with a general purpose image transcription service. So not just face detection, not just object detection or logo detection, but a general purpose image description service, which would allow much more efficient searching for the right images. And then further down the roadmap, notably in Q3, there is an important subject on using large language models for storytelling. And we believe that's a really important step. It's in preparation already. It will use various types of raw material and turn it into a draft story or an outline of a story, a pre-cut. We'll see how it turns out, but it's very, very promising what's happening in that area. And then the most important improvement for what concerns Delivery Workspaces will be the ability to add a payload to a delivery request. Imagine the use case where you as a broadcaster want to collaborate with a subtitle company. You can then order a subtitling job, adding a video file to that job that will be used as a basis or a starting point to deliver dubbing files or subtitling files. And then lastly, in the area of subtitling and localization, we will take advantage of some of the advanced features of Speechmatics. Speaker sensitivity adjustment to improve the speaker segmentation, and the ability to remove disfluencies in the language, so condensing the language to a cleaner written version of the transcription. If any one of you has questions about the roadmap, you know where we are. Happy to discuss this in a private meeting if you're interested about the details, or you would like to discuss some of your projects and how they relate to the roadmap. So the first releases of next year are already planned. The latest release of 25 is scheduled on mid-December with a webinar shortly afterwards, and then the first release of next year, 3 February, the next one, 17 March. Please do keep an eye on our social media. We will keep you informed in time and hope to welcome you on our next webinar to explain the details. And apart from the next release, next week we are exhibiting at the DPP Leaders Briefing in London before we enter the Christmas holidays, and then we'll gently grow into the next year. With that being said, thank you for joining us today. We look forward to welcoming you on any one of the next events.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Looks really exciting for 2026. And yeah, see you next time.